Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 474, we're going to talk about Greven. But first, we're going to wait a minute. I'm going to ramble because I'm not ready. Actually had a chance to build this deck and to play it. So I am sorting it all out by piles now. And I figured since I was doing this, we could just chat. Why not? So, y'all, all these basic lands, we don't really care about the basic lands, do we? We're going to have a rather large misc section there. So, that's the thing. I come home, I know it's been several days since I posted a video, and I feel absolutely terrible about it. But, as you know, I'm going to be gone from work for a little while, so I have been working quite a bit to try to, make up for the time that I'm not going to be there. So it's been a little busy. Not that that's an excuse. I know it's not, but still, it is what it is, But here we are today. We're talking about Greven. And I hadn't been home long, and to be honest with you, I come home and I was like, yeah, I am going to record Greven today. This is a big important deck, by the way. I say a big important deck. In the patron Discord that I have for the channel, I take my son to karate on like Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And while he is, because I don't want to intrude upon the zone between student and sensei, so he does his karate thing, and I pretty much spend that entire time on the Discord. And there was several of y'all in there, or of the patrons in there, and we were just kind of brainstorming this deck, and just, so many suggested, and I can't remember them all. I'll be honest with you, but that's a different kind of creature. So we got those kind of creatures, and we need this kind of, okay. That's card draw. So we collectively built this deck. Now, I did not have all of the cards at my disposal when I went to build it, obviously. So I had to improvise. Now, there are versions out there that are probably better than mine. But this one's a ton of fun. I played it once, and played Friday. It was a big game. What was that? Ryan, Eric, Donnie, Carmen, Jimmy, me, Danny. 7-player game. So, that being said, 7 players is, that's a big game. Now, wow, that's a really big misc pile, Brian. Does that fit in anything else? Kind of not really, so we're going to leave that as a huge misc pile. So, I played it once. I lost terribly. I looked down. I was at 3 life, and I was like, who hit me? Yeah, every point of damage done to me, I did to myself, because and that told me I did not have enough life gain. Evidently, I am not responsible enough to play with Bolus's Citadel. Especially not Dark Ritualing it out on turn 3. Anyway, I'm ready now. I've been spending the afternoon since I got home from work singing Disney songs because, Eldraine, that's why. Anyway, here we go. Let's look at Greven. We got a 5-mana 5/5 Rakdos Human Warrior with Menace. Man, that's what I'm talking about. And here's the beautiful part about it. He gets +X+O, where X is the amount of life you've lost this turn. So that's pretty sweet. It kind of makes me almost wish I had Painlands. No, I don't, because I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I didn't have any problem doing damage to myself. I need more life gain. Um, I have got some. Shoot, where did I put those at? It seems like I just bought some Warhammers in the past couple days. I think I have a Lockstone Warhammer I'm going to change out for something. Anyway, so when Greven attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, you draw cards equal to that creature's power and lose life equal to its toughness. Now you're losing that toughness life, which is making Greven bigger. So you're drawing cards and making your commander bigger. So let's face it, this guy, we're winning by commander damage. I mean, it's a kind of the most Rakdosy Voltron deck I've ever seen, but the Voltron is only like your life. So there are a few cards that I just. We'll go through the creatures first, because there was one of these creatures, as soon as I read Greven the first time when they spoiled it, I said, you know what? Ball Lightning. Hands down, this is what I'm playing. Because this way, it only costs 3. Now, granted, you don't get the trample aspect. But it costs 3. You swing with Greven. Sacrifice the Ball Lightning. Draw 6 cards, lose 1 life. Greven goes up by 1. Now, granted, that's not a huge benefit to his power, but that is a huge card drawing benefit. And from there, I went high power, low toughness route. So with stuff like that, Horizons gave us the Skelemental. Wall of Razors. Wall of Razors is not bad for 2 mana. It's 4/1. I don't care if it's a wall. Greven don't care if it's a wall. That's still draw 4, lose 1. And, a first striking 4/1 wall is kind of not bad to begin with, right? Yargle. Hey, let's draw 9 and lose 3. Lightning Elemental. Draw 4, lose 1. Now, Rotting Regisaur is kind of an amazing card in here because it only costs 3 mana. And you're drawing 7, losing 6. That means Greven's punching for 11. If you've lost no other life just besides the Rotting Regisaur. I mean, that's outstanding. How many decks you going to see Blistering Barrier in, right? There again, it's so cheap. It's 3 mana, but you're drawing 5 cards when you sack it to Greven. Blistering Firecat being a 7/1. Juggernaut. 4 mana, draw 5, lose 3. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm an old player and I busted these from packs, I love the Juggernaut. Yes, it's been outclassed 15 ways to Sunday, but I really like the card. Lupine Prototype. 2 mana. This is outstanding. Drawing 5, losing 5. For 2 mana, Greven's punching for 10. That is awesome. So that's why I really like Lupine Prototype. Skizit, kind of similar, 5/3. Arc Runner is a 5/1. Now let's look at Cinderwall. 3/3 for 1 mana. And it's not bad to pitch out there on turn 1. But as far as walls go, we all know about the Wall of Blood, because Wall of Blood does exceptional, wonderful things. This is for Greven, because you can pay life to the Wall of Blood to make it bigger, which just by paying life increases Greven's power. And then you sack it to draw however big it is and lose its toughness, losing more life, pumping Greven up even more. Just, I mean, it's just amazing. Now, I've got two cards here that, to be honest with you, they don't. Now that I read this, I don't think this works. I really don't. So, I know this is a lot more of an informal video. I just went over there and got I remembered where my losses on Warhammers were at. I think this is about to become one. Because Myriad, whenever this creature attacks, Greven says, yeah, I apologize to everyone who is watching the channel for the very, very first time. This is not a normal thing that I do. I normally don't just chat like this. But Greven says, whenever Greven attacks. So, hold on. You declare all attackers at the same time, right? So, you declare Greven, you declare Banshee. They both have triggers. You stack it where the Banshee Myriad trigger first. So you can sacrifice one of the tokens, keeping this is my impression now, so y'all bear with me. This may be wrong. If so, please let me know. Because here's my impression. Since they are both declared as attackers at the same time, you stack the triggers where the Banshee's Myriad ability will trigger first, putting all those tokens into play. And then Greven's ability, you can sack one of the tokens so that you can repeatedly do this. The token is a 4/4, so you're going to draw 4, lose 4. And then Greven's going to go up by 4. Now, this is not a terribly amazing... I mean, it's a 4/4. Even if it works that way, there are better cards in the deck. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead right now, cut this Joker. I'll have to change the deck list over on Archidect. Where are we at? Got to put it in my side load here. Side load Profit. And that card just became Locks It on Warhammer. Now, I feel better. Now, I was running both Myriad cards. I'm running the Giant as well, but that's slightly better at being a 5/3. So, still the same thing. Myriad will trigger. You can sack the token if, in fact, you don't have another creature to sack, but I feel like we will. So let's look at other creatures that we have in the deck. Thunderkin Awakener. When it attacks, choose target elemental card in your graveyard with toughness less than Thunderkin Awakener. Return that card to the battlefield tapped and attacking, sack it. Okay, here again, this is another attack trigger that you're going to stack on top of Greven's to bring back your Ball Lightning. Hey, look, we're drawing some cards. Psychosis Crawler is kind of a natural fit. The Deathbringer Regent, that's whenever another creature is put into a graveyard, well, we're sacrificing creatures left and right, so we're going to be making the Thoctor big. Not to mention, all the opponent's creatures that will die through the course of the game. The Gray Merchant is just a great card. Phyrexian Delver it hits all the marks here. Yeah, 5 mana is a little steep to be drawing 3, losing 2. However, it's going to get another creature back, which you're going to lose life for, which is going to pump up our boy. So, it's really good. But I want to look at Even Reaper, or Even Blade Reaper. That first line gets you, doesn't it? Whenever it attacks, you lose half your life, rounded up. What? So this we actually we want to attack with this and Greven. Lose half of our life and one-shot commander damage somebody with Greven. Yeah, I mean, it's a small price to play that, we're going to pay half our life to do it. But, we're in black-red. That's, what do they call it? Risks of the trade. I can't think of the phrase that people use. Anyway, let's look at some ramp, since we got the creatures out of the way. I say ramp color fixing. Actually, there is, we have a Soul Ring, a Dark Ritual, the Talisman, Signet. Now, I'm running the mirrors in there because in a pinch we can sack them. We can block with them. I mean, running the mirrors and the Scuttlemutt, one Cluestone, and I figure Treasonous Ogre is probably more ramp than he is an actual creature. Yeah, I mean, we could draw 2 and lose 3, but that's not why we're playing it. We're paying it for pay 3 life, get a counter. Or, I'm sorry, I was thinking of Prince, Unspeakable Symbol. Paying 3 life to get a red mana. So we could... Actually, this is one of the cards that mana burn would still be great. Anyway. Other card draw. Now, this is other card draw. I mean, yes, we have a lot of card draw in Greven himself, but Night's Whisper, Sign in Blood, Read the Bones, Diabolic Treasures, not so much card draw, it's card selection, but more than likely we are going to go get Bolas' Citadel, which I am just about out of copies of this card, thank goodness, because I don't know what I turn... What is it? Absolute Power corrupts absolutely. Oh my gosh. Bolas' Citadel, I think I've done more damage to me. Well, I know I did that game. I did all 40 damage to me. Because I was banking on drawing anyway. And then, of course, we have Villas. Gotta have Villas. We're paying life, right? I mean, we want to lose life. Yeah. Draw that many cards. So let's look at... some removal. Of course, we have our Doomblade, Terminate, but stuff like Ashes to Ashes exiles 2 creatures and we take 5. So this solves a couple of problems. Solves 2 problems right off the bat. Exiles 2 creatures and it pumps our commander by making us lose 5. Hey. Devouring Shadow. Now for 2 mana, destroy target creature is really good, so they had to give it a drawback, which in this deck, not so bad. Yeah, I don't care about losing life. Kind of, maybe Death Shadow wouldn't be bad in the deck as much. I don't know, it probably would. Unlicensed D, it does say destroy target creature. It doesn't fit, the other theme of dealing damage to us. Red Elemental Blast, of course, this is counter target Cyclonic Rift. We have an Earthquake. Pestilence. Pestilence is, now, here again, very risky card. You got to have creatures on the board. My favorite card to play with Pestilence is the Stuffy Doll. I mean, Stuffy Doll's not in this deck, but it's awesome because Stuffy Doll is indestructible and it stays around forever. And then whoever the chosen opponent is takes double damage from Pestilence and lets you just keep Pestilencing forever. But then in Planar Chaos, they did a color shift. This is Pyrohemia. I realize it's in a non-English, but it operates the exact same way as Pestilence. Dies when there's no creatures on the board. You spend a red mana to do 1 damage to each creature and each player. Today I noticed that Throne of Eldraine released that legendary dwarf. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. It's awesome. It says whenever a red source you control deals damage, it deals that much damage plus 2. So Pyrohemia now deals 1 to you and your stuff, and 3 to your... Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, those 2 cards particularly good in this deck because we take the damage, we're killing creatures. A lot of times 1 or 2 is all you need to kill a bunch of tokens or elves or goblins or whatevers. Um, Fire Covenant. I love it. 3 mana. Deals X damage divided any way you choose. Boy, that was hard for me not to. Where X is equal to the amount of life you pay. This is a Wrath of God if you want it bad enough. And coupled with Greven, Fire Covenant can be a. You can one-shot a player. Okay, look, I'm going to kill all your blockers that can block Greven, or maybe not all of them, because he's got menace. They can have one. You leave their biggest guy, or the one that's hardest to kill, or the one indestructible, and you just Fire Covenant the rest of them, paying, I don't know, 15. Well, you need to lose 16 life in order for him to be a one-shot killer. But you can overpay. Shoot, yeah. So now let's look at what I call the random pile. In no particular order, we're just gonna Dragon Throne of Tarkir. If we can park Greven on the no, we can't park Greven because he's got to attack to do his thing. We can park something on the throne to make Greven bigger, since we're kind of doing the whole the commander damage thing. Albeit, I realize the Dragon Throne in this particular deck may not be that strong. That probably needs to be another life gain card. Speaking of which, the Black Spirit Link, definitely running. Oh, I forgot a. Okay, that was misplaced. It's supposed to be removal. Hey, pop a non-black creature and you lose life equal to its toughness. So there again, solves 2 problems. It lets you pay. Man, what a world, right? What a deck that we're in, where I just said it lets you lose life. Good old-fashioned Bloodlust. It's been a while since I've played a deck with Bloodlust in it. But, I mean, we are playing Ball Lightning. Ball Lightning Bloodlust is 10 damage. If we had green, we could do the Berserk for the whole 20. Now, granted, we can't have a Lotus or 4 copies or whatever, but that was the original first turn kill. Ride of the Raging Storm. Everybody gets a 5/1. And we can sack it to make our commander bigger. Oh, and the 5/1 can't hit me. Team Your Battle Rage. Double Strike. Double Strike is kind of big, especially if we can get Greven up to the 11 power range. Then this makes him a one attack killer. Just in case he's not, we got a Relentless Assault to where we can take 2 attack steps. Act of Treason. Now, I almost went this route with like really, really heavy to steal your creatures to end of turn, and then sack them to Greven and drawing cards and losing life and then hitting you with Greven. That was really, really tempting. I'm not going to lie. Whisper Silk Cloak, making him unblockable. Now, the downside to Whisper Silk Cloak is it has Shroud, and I realize some of y'all look at that and go, downside. Well, you can't target it. I mean, we can't target our own creature because it has Shroud. So, Hexproof is way better, of course. Troll Shroud is what we used to call it. But, yeah. Sometimes you just have the 2 mana left over after doing your shenanigans, and you just pop it on there, and then you move to your attack step, and here we go. Thunderblust is a creature that found its way into the Misk pile. It's kind of that Ball Lightning-ish, 7/2. Fist of Flames. I love red cards that just start off with draw a card. Until end of turn, target creature gains trample, which is a very valuable thing for Greven. He don't have it. And +1 for each card you've drawn this turn. So we stack this correctly. We attack with Greven. We sack our sacrificial creature, drawing that many cards, losing that much life. We play Fist of Flames, drawing another card. Greven gains plus however many you... Yeah, see? It's really good. Victimize, because like I said, we're sacking creatures, and victimize 2 for 1 or 1 for 2 is really, really good in my opinion. How about Essence Harvest? Target player loses X life, you gain X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. This is a hardcore life gain card. It's not like a drain life that we have to pump a ton of mana into, or a corrupt that is swamp dependent. It's just 3 mana, and there's a good chance Greven's going to be huge when we cast it in our second main. So, yeah, y'all know I had to, right? I mean, it's a 1 mana instant that says if Greven has +5, you win, or you eliminate a player. Yeah. This is the only infect giver in the deck, and that's probably strategically a mistake, but I wanted one to represent it, but I didn't want to like turn it into, Poison Greven. And our last non-land card is False Orders. Now, this just helps you control how Greven gets blocked, pretty much. So let's look at our non-basic lands. You'll notice a common theme here. Most of these are from C19. We have our duels in the Arcbound Refuge, Cinder Baron, Bloodfell Caves, the Rakdos Gate, the Rakdos Carnarium, and then stuff like, the Promenade, Baron Moor, Mortuary Mire, Bojuka Bog. I love Bojuka Bog. It is an amazing card, especially with bounce lands. If you're kind of into that, running the Ravnica bounce lands, if one of the colors of your bounce land is black, man, you kind of want a Bojuka Bog so you can get 2 activations out of your bog. Cycle lands, the Ash Barrens, the Forgotten Cave. I'm running the Temple, Evolving Wilds, Rogue's Passage, and lastly, Myriad Landscape. I like the Landscape. I say ramp for Landscape, but I guess it is. It costs you one land drop, but it does come into play tapped, so that's a downside. So you're waiting a turn, and then we're spending. Oh, put my token in there. We're spending 2 mana, so that's what, like Rampant Growth mana, and tapping this, so that's 3 lands that effectively we're tapping to get 2 basics. I don't know. I like it because it takes up 1 land drop, and you eventually get 2 out of it. You can use it for colorless if nothing else. So let's look up here at our wall. You can see I've already started pre-building decks over here for Eldraine. We're going to put 474 Greven up there. Like I said, there are a ton of ways to build Greven. And thank you so much for the patrons for helping me build that deck in mental capacity. I wasn't here in front of the cards, but I could refer back to it a few days later. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you all so much. I mean, I do this. I love to talk about Magic. I really do, obviously. I wonder if there's a way I can see how many hours of film I have. Anyway, but I love to talk about it, and I'm glad that y'all like to listen to it. It's just, it's a thing that I do. I've played Magic for so many years, and I know this is a long, rambly episode, and I'm going to stop. But I don't know. I just wanted to take time to say thank you all for watching. I mean, it really does mean a lot that you tune in deck after deck. And I know sometimes, most shows put out 1 show a week, and there have been times I've shotgunned a deck every day for a while, and I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all watching. I love the feedback, by the way, because eventually I will get done, and I'll be done with all of them, and I can go back and tweak these decks. Like, some of these decks I did what? Well, I mean, over here on that side of the wall, ooh, I won't put the camera too far because of that glare. But some of those decks I built, years ago. I mean, it's been 3 years ago now since I started. So deck number one. Now, granted, deck number one's the exception to what I think I rebuild the Traxa once a year. I don't know. I think I have an idea for the next incarnation of a Traxa 4.0. I think I want to do only, because it's still Super Friends, but I think I want to do only Planeswalkers that have appeared in Planeswalker decks. That way it's the Traxa Planeswalker deck. Eh? Yeah, it's going to be terrible, but that's fine. It's fine to have a power down Traxa. I mean, it's still got doubling season. It's still got all that jazz in there. So, I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, in my spare time. But right now, it sure enough looks like Eldraine's going to have 20 legends. So that's I keep looking this way because that's where the monitor's at, and I want to make sure I'm looking at you. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, I think we are going to finally shuffle and cut.